I am generally not worried about Chelsea as a team moving forward. I mean, I don't believe they will qualify for the Champions League next season. That depends on the last 10 games of the season. But in terms of short-term or long-term future, I don't think Chelsea fans should be too concerned. Look at the statistics that has kept Chelsea where they are this season. Chelsea has played 5 games this season with a red card down to 10 men, more than any other Premier League team this season. And in each of those games, apart from the Arsenal game, they lost the other of those Premier League games. And then when it comes to dropping points from winning positions, they have dropped 19 points so far from winning positions. That is to say, in a game where they took the lead, in a game where they were controlling. And I watched most of those games. I think I analyzed a lot of Chelsea games this season. There was hardly any of those matches that Chelsea did not start absolutely on fire. It was just at some point in the game. I think the only game I would pick out to say that I think Chelsea played poorly was probably the game against Leeds. The first leg against Leeds, I would say, was the only game that I would come out to say this was an absolutely horrible performance from Chelsea. But other than that, in most of those games, even in the Sunderland game, in the game that Brighton won 3-1, that it was still a red card. Most of the points that Chelsea dropped this season was just moments of madness from the players. It was defensive errors, players not doing what they're supposed to do. So if taking all that into consideration, these are very fixable errors. They are very simple errors to fix. It's up to Rosinho. Rosinho has a big job to do in the summer. When everybody has gone on holiday, he has a lot of work to do with his players to cut out those errors. The reason why Arsenal are where they are today is because they have almost been a perfect team. That is what Chelsea should aspire to be like. The players are there. I think the tactics that Rosinho has employed so far, I have analyzed up to 5 of his matches. The team is playing excellently well. They are cutting through opponents, even opponents who are playing a back five and a low block that Chelsea has traditionally struggled against. I think Chelsea have been able to open up those teams and create chances. Although there are still mistakes, even in the final third. A few loose touches here and there, a few passes not sticking, especially in the last game. This last game against Burnley, I think Chelsea should have scored way more than the one goal they scored in that game. But that's part of the game. It's still a work in progress. But my whole point of this video is that if you look at the statistics and the numbers that has kept Chelsea fifth on the table, there are errors there. These are errors that can be fixed. There are problems that have easy solutions to. So Chelsea does not need to buy expensive players. Chelsea does not need to make any dramatic changes. It's just the players' mentality that needs to change. And I think that is the easiest thing to do. So next season, Chelsea should be way better than they are now. So why these mistakes are costly and they are worrying, I think that the signs are there that this is a team that if they cut out their mistakes, they are a near perfect team. But again, it's up to Rosinho to make sure that he does his job, to make sure that this team comes out next season firing. But this season, as for whether they will qualify for the Champions League or not, well, it's still up in the air. It's up in the air. I think as far as the running is concerned, the last 10 matches of the season, Chelsea has the most difficult running of all of them. So let's see how it goes. If they beat the opponents that are their direct rivals, they should be able to make it. But will they? Time will tell.